Hello IP5. Today is Friday, and on Friday you get 2 English lessons. This is the first of your 2 lessons, so I hope this is the first video you are watching. In our lesson on Tuesday we talked about abbreviations, and today we're moving on to something different. Before we move on, I'm just going to go over Tuesday's homework. So please make sure you have your workbook ready. Okay, on Tuesday, I asked you to do this page in your workbook page 98. So section A, you had to give abbreviations for any words that needed to be abbreviated. So number 1, Audio Service Corporation, should have changed corporation to corp, C-O-R-P, period. Number 2, Wednesday, September 29th, 1875, change Wednesday to W-E-D period, and September to S-E-P period. Number 3, Alva John Holmes Sr., we should have used initials for his first name and his middle name, so A period, J period. Then we use SR period instead of senior. Number 4, Rodriguez Incorporated, we change incorporated to INC period. And number 5, Friday, August 13th, 1990, we change Friday to FRI period and August to AUG period. So give yourselves a score out of 5. Section B, we needed to give abbreviations for the words that have been underlined. And I told you not to abbreviate the American states, Virginia, Texas, or Illinois. So number 6, Doctor, DR period, and Jane, J period, for root, RTE period. Number 7, for company, CO period, for limited, LTD period, for post office, P period, O period. And number 8, for Mr., MR period, for Alonzo Richard, the initials A period, R period, and for Avenue, AVE period. So again, give yourselves a score out of 3, and then a total out of 8. Okay, so this lesson we're moving on to a new topic, interjections. Now, I don't think you've studied interjections before, but when I explain what they are to you, I'm sure you will recognize them. So, an interjection is a word that shows feeling or emotion. So, usually just 1 or 2 words. And we use them either as part of a sentence or before another sentence to show how we feel. So here's an example. Oops, I dropped my ice cream. So oops acts as its own mini sentence. It doesn't have a subject and a predicate, but it is its own little sentence called an interjection. So if you make a mistake, you might say oops. Another example is, oh, it's time for lunch. The word oh is being used as an interjection. So again, it's showing a little bit of feeling. Now, there are many interjections in the English language. I'm just going to show you some of them. So hooray or hooray, 2 different ways to spell it, but they mean the same thing. You'd say that if you were happy, if something good had happened. Hey is an interjection, means like a little pause. Oh no, well, good grief is like if something bad's happened. Ah, oops, woo, like if you're relieved. Okay or okay. Oh, ouch, wow, goodness, ha or haha, cheers, and thanks. These are all interjections that all give meaning, explaining, feeling. If an interjection is showing strong feeling, it stands on its own as a separate sentence with an exclamation point. So if you're very happy, very excited, or something very bad's happened, you'd use an interjection followed by an exclamation point. Like, ow, I hit my toe on the table. We've got the interjection, ow, followed by an exclamation point. Or, hooray, exclamation point, the exams are over. So if you're excited about something, hooray, followed by an exclamation point. But sometimes we just use interjections to show a mild feeling or to create a pause in a sentence. And in that case, we don't use an exclamation point to separate it from the sentence. We use a comma to separate it from the rest of the same sentence. So, okay, time for bed. So we've got okay as an interjection, but we continue the same sentence telling you that it's time for bed, and we've got a comma after the interjection. For thanks, have a nice day. Again, thanks doesn't need to be its own sentence, you just use a comma. Okay, open your textbook to page 192 and look at questions 1 to 8. This is very, very easy. All you need to do is find the interjection. So either underline or circle the interjection in each sentence. If you don't have your textbook, get a piece of paper and write the interjection. And if you do have your textbook, circle or underline. So when I pause the video, please answer questions 1 to 8. Okay, please pause now. Okay, if you have finished up to question 8, keep watching. Okay, number 1. Hey, this boat needs a few repairs. The interjection is hey. Number 2. Good grief. Can we repair it in time for the race? The interjection is good grief. Number 3. Oh, I hope so. Oh is the interjection here. Number 4. Oops, the sail is torn. Oops is the interjection. Number 5. Whew, someone remembered to bring the sewing box. Whew is the interjection. Number 6. Ouch, that needle is sharp. Ouch is the interjection. Number 7. Hooray, the sail is as good as new. The interjection is hooray. And number 8. Oh no, here's another rip we missed. The interjection is oh no. So give yourselves a score out of 8. Okay, now look at page 193. This is a little bit more difficult because you need to find the interjection, but you don't need to circle or underline it. You need to add either a comma or an exclamation point after the interjection. So look at the example. Woo, the big day is here at last. The interjection is woo, so you need to add an exclamation point because it's showing strong feeling. If you are ever not sure which punctuation mark to use, look at the next word and see if it starts with a capital letter or a lowercase letter. That will give you a clue whether you need to use an exclamation point or a comma. So when I say pause, pause the video and answer questions 9 to 14 by adding commas or exclamation points. Okay, so please pause now. Okay, if you are ready, you can keep watching for the answers. Number 9, comma. There's nothing like a windy day for a race. Now, you might have got confused when you saw the exclamation point, but on its own is not showing any strong feeling. It's just leading into the rest of the sentence. Again, you should have seen that this began with a lowercase t, so that gave you a clue that you didn't need an exclamation point. Number 10, well, comma, let's get everything ready. Number 11, oh no, exclamation point, the race begins in an hour. Number 12, hooray, exclamation point, the jackets are in the boat. Number 13, okay, exclamation point, now we don't have to go back. And number 14, hey, comma, it's getting windier. So give yourselves a score out of 6. Okay, IP5, that is the end of this lesson. Now, your homework for this lesson is workbook page 94. Today is Friday and you've got 2 English lessons. Please do not watch the next lesson, lesson 112, until you have finished workbook page 94. Very quickly, before we finish, I'm just going to tell you what to do for that page. Okay, IP5, this is workbook page 94. You've got 18 questions, and it gives a dialogue, a conversation between a few people. You've got the next part after the interjection already written for you, and the interjection word is in brackets. You need to write this word on the line and decide whether it needs a comma or an exclamation point after it. So you'd write the word great over here, and then either a comma or an exclamation point after it before the next words. Again, if you are ever not sure, look for capital letters. That will help you. Okay, IP5, that's the end of the lesson. So like I told you, make sure you finish that homework page before you watch the second lesson today. But until then, thank you, IP5.